Get your money up. Get your bitches up. Get your shit up.
I have a girlfriend. I don't want to get my bitches up.
You gotta get your bitches up. You know what I'm saying? You know what today is?
420.
Today is 420. Are you just saying that because you actually looked at the date for once, or because you saw my Instagram story?
Oh, I mean, it's 420, so like I'm not gonna like. It's not like you're the first person to tell me. It's like 6 p.m. It's not like you're the first person all day to mention this to me.
Okay, well I don't know how out you've been today because I've
been
not
out all day, bro. I know that I'm currently wearing a Boston University t-shirt. Shout out.
Yeah,
I don't
that
remember.
goes hard.
They're like the something Terriers, but my sister just got into school there, so I'm trying to be.
Oh, no shit.
She doesn't watch this podcast, so like she's not gonna know that. But
yeah, that's.
I'm repping your shirt.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah, I've been out today. I had final review today for my architecture studio.
Yeah, I know. We were talking earlier in the week. We were like, oh, we're both gonna be like fucking busy, and I was busy today. I was sitting on my ass in front of my computer all day doing homework.
Oh. Yeah, actually, that does suck.
I was working on, like, right before this, I was working on my final project for this one class that required me to run malware in the background for a little bit. So
like on purpose?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's why I was like, give me 10 minutes to finish. I don't want this shit running in the background while we're
run it actually during the podcast. I think that'd be really funny.
That's not a good idea.
So let's address the elephant in the room.
Okay. Also, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, welcome back to episode 17 of the Waste Management Podcast. We're taking out the trash. Speaking of the trash this week, Jacksepticeye and Crank Gameplays coming for you. Coming for us.
Some nerd
literally took our idea.
Right?
Literally, I don't think there's ever been like a podcast where two white dudes sit down and just talk about their feelings.
Right.
And we really started that, and I think they kind of robbed that from us because they're like number 2 on the Spotify charts.
They're kind of biting our shit. They may be number 2 on the overall Spotify charts, but you know what we are? We're number 5 for comedy in Egypt.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not joking. There's an
We're literally winning.
It's in the business email. We got an email, like a promotional thing from Spotify. They're like, yeah,
that's
you're
so awesome.
We're number 5 in comedy in Egypt.
I'm putting that on the resume.
Yeah, that's a good resume builder, I think.
Number 5 in comedy podcasts on Spotify in Egypt.
In Egypt specifically, not the world.
Egypt is a big place.
It is a big place. It's filled with a lot of nothing.
Yeah, we are. What? All right, 1 second. Population of Egypt. Shout out to our Egyptian viewers, though, honestly.
Shout out any Egyptian and Middle Eastern
Dude,
viewers.
we're top 5 in 109.3 million people.
That's actually, like, way more than I thought it would be.
So, okay, hear me out, though. Like how many people... First of all, we don't speak... What are they speaking?
Egyptian...
Is that a... I feel like...
You know the hieroglyphics? They do that in real life.
That's not... Yeah, they walk up, they're like, man holding... They're like... He already made the joke. They're like, guy holding pot of water on head.
They're like bird, snake.
Three squiggly...
It's the snake coming out of the pot while like a guy is playing the flute.
You just lost all of your Egyptian.
They just
You are not from
charades.
Egypt.
Oh, man.
Okay, I have to actually know, though, because I feel like there's no way... Yeah, they speak Arabic. That makes a lot of sense. Actually, I bet single-handedly that my studio professor from this year is the one carrying that. She's not from Egypt, but she speaks Arabic, and she's awesome. So.
And you think she listens to this show?
I would bet money that she does not.
Okay.
I think if she watched it, though, I think she would like it. She's really funny.
I just want to know how
sarcastic.
Anyone from Egypt actually like found us at all.
See, I'm confused because I feel like there has to be more than 5 comedy podcasts in existence that people watch in Egypt, right?
You know what? I think you'd be surprised.
But there's 109 million people, and granted, like not all of them use Spotify, but like,
yeah, they probably got some like it's like the Alibaba but for Egypt, and it has just like everything in one app. They probably got something like that. But
Maybe.
here's the better question to be asking. Who's above us?
I don't know, man.
It could be literally anyone.
Do you think we could collab? I think the real question is there anyone below us? And how did we beat them out?
That's also a good question.
We gotta post on like I don't know how we would possibly get to the most people on a global scale, like ever. But like however we would do that, we just gotta post out there and be like, hey, anyone know who number 6 comedy podcast is in Egypt?
I think we gotta start doing what Mr. Beast is doing.
Asking
where
for a friend.
He has like the Mr. Beast in Espanol. And we get people to dub our voices for the podcast.
Wouldn't it be sicker if we just like learned Spanish though?
But then we would have to do a separate.
Yeah, I can speak like a little bit of Spanish.
This is so much effort for you and I. Like, let's just get some people off of Fiverr that actually sound like they're Spanish to do it.
That is true.
You know what I mean? And then we gotta like branch out. So then it's like waste management in Russian.
Waste management and Espanol.
Yeah. It's got a nice ring to it, you got to admit.
I don't know how to say management, but trash is basura. Basura.
That's awesome.
Hola, mi amigos.
Speaking
and
of,
then we just speak in Spanish the whole time.
Speaking of white guys that have microphones in front of them and other copycats.
Hey, we don't have Shure SMP whatever 7. I don't even know what the microphones are called, but we don't have Shure microphones.
SM7Bs.
Nope,
Yeah,
it's SMP because
no,
like
we don't have
multiplayer.
Shure microphones at all.
Oh.
We don't.
All right, I don't have a Shure microphone.
Yeah, you don't. 'Cause you're
I was
poor.
planning on upgrading over the fuck you. I was planning on upgrading over the summer though, but not to a Shure. I gotta get the microphone with like the synced RGB.
Don't do that.
But it's so funny. It's so funny.
What?
Anyway, sorry. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I wanted to bring up. I remembered a story from over the summer when I was working in Florida for my internship thing. I remembered there was this guy whose position I was replacing. Like I was replacing this guy from the previous summer. And he was very weird, apparently. And he has a podcast, which I'm not going to name, but it's very funny.
Yeah, well, what number is he in Egypt?
I think he's... Well, let me just explain. I'll give you the gist of what listening to this podcast is like, and you can determine what number on the Egyptian charts it is.
I'm betting right now it's probably like a 2.
Basically, it's just him, and he records it on his iPhone, and he sits outside on like a porch, like. And
this is off to a good start.
Half of the podcast,
like in the voice memos app.
Yeah. And then half of the episode is him introducing himself because he's the only guy on the show, and then the other half, they're like 30 minutes. And then
it's still a lot of time.
It's a lot of time. The other half is him like recommending a Drake song to listen to.
Like every time?
Yeah.
Is it like one song every episode or like
No, it's technically supposed to be the chill album of the week recommendation, but he just recommends Drake every time.
Hey guys, welcome back to another chill album of the week. Today we've got Certified Lover Boy.
Today we've got Views.
Next week, hey guys, welcome back to another chill album of the week. Today we've got... That's the only Drake album I know.
Today we've got Honestly Nevermind.
Wouldn't it be awesome if he was just like he segued though, and he's like, today we got Honestly Nevermind, and then he just didn't talk about it at the end of the episode, like right there.
Yeah, that'd be a good bit.
You have his email? Because like, I write scripts, so like I could send that to him if he needed.
What do you write scripts
Why are you
for?
waving like that?
I was speaking Egyptian.
We're gonna get moved to number 6. I know it.
Yeah. This is
They're
not
gonna
helping our
I've
chart
played Assassin's
placements.
This is
Creed
not helping our
Origins.
chart.
I know what they speak.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so Zach has played Assassin's Creed Origins, so he knows.
Yeah, that would make him an expert in the field.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, I just remembered that guy existed.
Maybe we should collab
It's very
with him.
funny. I'll
Like, you don't have
send you. I'll send you.
Like,
There's
don't say
one-
it on the air, but like, send me his podcast when we're done. And I'll listen to it.
There's one episode where it's 3 minutes long, and it's him. It's the first guest that he has on the show, and it's him and
it's
his
Drake
and his girlfriend, and they're at a restaurant and they're ordering food, and no joke, they order chicken nuggets and fries.
How old is this guy?
Like older than us.
But like, by how much?
A couple years.
So like, is he still like 20s? Maybe
He's early 20s, yeah.
Okay, I think that might be all right.
I think it's okay, but it's really funny still.
It is really funny. Like, I'm not gonna judge him that hard, but like a little bit.
Yeah, and then
That is kind of awesome.
in other podcast news recently, there was this guy 2 years ago on Twitter who DM'd me out of the blue. I hadn't heard of this person beforehand, and their name is Randy. And they were like, "Yo, you tweeted about being bored or something like that." So I'm bored too. So I'm sending people my podcast.
That's awesome.
And he
Do you
sent
think
me his
Randy
podcast. It's called Driving with Randy, and it's exactly what you think it is.
Okay, so
And
okay,
I've been
well,
listening for the past 2 years now. So
I have two thoughts. Is he still going?
oh, he's still going. I sent him
Okay,
a message like yesterday or 2 days ago.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I sent him a message. I was like, "Hey, I've been listening since you sent that message, and I appreciate what you do."
All right, so three things. One, okay, maybe I shouldn't start with that finger. One, we gotta do a collab.
Yeah, we gotta.
Two, I was gonna ask if he's still podcasting, which he is. Three, if it's exactly what I think it is, it's either him just like randomly commenting on like the landmarks that he passes as he drives around,
That's part of it,
or he's just driving around and just like talking about what he thinks.
and that's the other part of it.
There it is. Yeah, that's a genius podcast idea.
It's brilliant because it's just him and his thoughts, and you see the true man come out. You know,
Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah,
and I think that's art.
Yeah. I think I was thinking about this, and I was like, well, what makes me want to listen to like a podcast?
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, what can we personally do to make our podcast more? What can we do to bring it above and then beyond?
Maybe like upload every week.
Maybe upload every week, and then also additionally to that, like, who's our audience? And guys, do you want to do a meetup? Yeah.
Do you have something to say after that, or is this just
No,
a
I
thought?
don't. I don't want to do a meetup. I'm
Okay.
actually too busy. But like, like I remember Zach was talking to me about this because he started listening to our podcast over the summer. And he was like, it kind of just felt like you and I are here. We're sharing our thoughts. Two white guys. No one's ever done this before. Revolutionary.
Yeah.
But like it's kind of just like chilling with your homies, So I hope that when people listen to our podcast and they, I hope they have a good laugh. And I hope that they feel like we're friends,
I don't want them to feel that we're friends.
Okay.
Everyone listening, none of them are my friend, for the record. You can be
Well, not
friends
yet.
with Henry, not me, though.
Okay. You guys can be my friends.
That's weird and fucked up.
I don't know, man. Think about it. Like, who are you making content for? I mean, like yourself, obviously, but like.
I think I have thought about this, and I think I make content for people like me because I think about like when I was growing up watching stuff on like YouTube and Twitch or whatever, and it was a place for me to go and be like, this is nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I feel like I didn't really have anywhere else to go.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. So like, how do we make our podcast?
So I
feel
want
like
to do stuff that gives other people the feeling that they can like come to me at the end of a hard day and have a nice laugh. Yeah.
Yeah, or like that it's comforting,
But I am not anyone's friend. I don't know.
Well, but that's what I mean. It's like, like it's like if you watched your YouTube, like a YouTuber, like when you were younger. Like obviously, me and that YouTuber, we're not friends.
Yeah.
But like I associate like a positive, like friendly vibe with them. Obviously, I don't know them. I'm never gonna meet them.
I think part of it is also that, like, the things you felt while watching a person while growing up, like YouTube is like a TV show, kind of.
Yeah.
And I think you associate a lot of the feelings you felt while watching the show with just being younger in general.
Yeah.
Which is why I think people can get like a weird attachment to like, Dream or whatever. But
I was just gonna say that.
It's just the prime example now, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say the same thing with like fucking Keemstar or something, but that's like a whole different cycle. Like that's the opposite. That's like a hate relationship.
Yeah, that's like I'm upset, so you should also be upset. Let's all be upset together.
Yeah.
That's not what I want to promote.
Like fucked up cycle of degeneracy.
Yeah, which is like kind of the worst.
Yeah.
I don't want to promote that on our podcast. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like, it's like, like if you saw one of those YouTubers, like when you were younger, if you saw them out in public, based on how they act, I feel like I would feel comfortable walking up to like Dan TDM or whatever. Not now. I don't watch his videos anymore.
I mean, sure.
He was the GOAT. And being like, oh my God, hey, like I love your stuff. And then I would hope that instead of being like, thanks, and then like walking away, he'd be like, oh yeah, thanks, like blah, 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 blah.
I mean, that is their job. Like they are celebrities at the end of the day.
Yeah, but like what if we were all celebrities, Like what if you could just walk up to anyone and be like, yeah, hope you're having a great day.
You can do that.
I appreciate what you do. Yeah, I mean you can.
You could literally do that.
I mean, yeah, but I think it would be kind of weird.
Yeah.
If someone walked up to me and was like, I appreciate what you do, I would be weirded out. I mean, I'd be like, thanks, man. Like I appreciate what you do. But then I'd be like,
but also,
what do we do?
But also, who are you and why are you talking to me in this subway?
Right, exactly. Like the restaurant or like the train?
I mean, I guess either one works. I was thinking about the restaurant, but because my ass would never be seen in a subway like the train.
That's way funnier. Immediately when you said subway, I was like, yeah, train. New York City. Ninja Turtles.
Well, I don't know. I've stepped into a subway restaurant, but I've never stepped into a subway train before.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna turn this conversation a little bit to like sort of what we were talking about.
Yeah.
But like I would consider myself to be like a generally friendly person, I would say.
Yeah, that's a bit of a mild description, but yeah.
Bit of an understatement, one might even say.
Yeah.
But like it does not take a lot for me to I mean like it doesn't take a lot for me to dislike someone. Like, I feel like if you're not a good person, it's, like, usually pretty obvious. But, like, if you're not a bad person, then, like, I don't know. We'll get along. But, like, we had, like, superlatives for where I worked on campus. There's, like, a party at the end of the year, and everyone gets voted. Just for, like, like, we have one that's, like, best, like entry level, like member services person, best like lead, best supervisor.
Yeah, it's like voted most likely to succeed in the yearbook, but for a job.
Right, but like for a job.
Yeah.
And one of the things I got voted for was like, or not voted for, but it's like it comes down to like 4 contestants, and then you vote between the 4. And like I'm not gonna win this thing, because literally like 80% of the people voted for my friend Christian, but this category is biggest flirt. And so I was like, oh, because I like have a girlfriend and she like also works there. And I was like, oh, interesting. Because like I don't think like I'm nice, but I'm not like, damn, you looking fine today. Like one time this guy walked in wearing an Attack on Titan shirt. And I was like, oh my God, dude, I love your shirt. And he was like, thanks, man.
Yeah, like, you're just being like a normal person, basically.
Well, no, I know, but like I feel like it was also always like weird for me, like in high school, because I would like be nice to someone and they'd be like, "Oh, you have a crush on me," and I think that kind of sucks.
I think this goes back to what I was telling you a while ago, and it's that you just have twink energy, and that's just how it comes off.
Fair.
And let me tell you something else, actually. The other day, I was playing Valorant with my roommate Joe, and They were telling me Joe's girlfriend was talking to our neighbors, like a couple doors down. And our neighbors apparently know our house as the Twink house, and it's because I live here.
Oh, so it's not even just me. You loser.
And
I'm just kidding.
And I don't know how to feel about that.
See, it's not just me.
Because I, like, say hi to them whenever I pass them, like, on the way to, like, take out the trash
now
whatever.
You know that they, like, associate you.
Yeah.
Damn. Wow. That's crazy.
But they've never said this to my face, ever.
I mean, I've gotten a mixed bag, also. Like, can I, like, say that word?
It's not like a slur.
I know, but like it just feels weird on the tongue, you know?
Does it?
It's like Twinkie, but without the E. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But like, my entire life, like, my mom, for the most part, like, raised me. I've always been, like, fine with, like, being friends with, like, girls and, like, literally just being friends. Like, for the sake of, like, you know, I want to be your friend. I don't want to have sex with you. And that's, like, something that has always been, like, weird for a lot of people. And I was talking to my therapist about it. She was like, yeah, I think everyone just assumes that, like, the norm is, like, if you're a guy talking to a girl, you just, like them.
Yeah, basically.
And I'm like, that, like, kind of sucks, though. Because then I just, like, can't be nice to people for, like, the sake of being nice, you know?
No, yeah. I think the standards are different
like,
for men and women, for sure.
Yeah. Because, like, it's, like, I don't know, like, I've had girls be like, oh, like, I like your shirt, or, like, I like your outfit today, and never have I been like, you have a crush on me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very, like, old way of thinking, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think this is less so a problem in our generation than it was 1 or 2 generations ago.
I think so, but I think it's still, like, relatively prevalent, because then I was asking some of my coworkers, because I was like, oh, well, like, you know, like, I hope I haven't, like, flirted with any of you guys, because, like, I don't want to do that. Like, I have a girlfriend, and I'm, like, very protective of, like, that.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, yeah, no, you're just, like, really nice. And I was like, oh. And I was like, should I be less nice? And they were like, not necessarily. It's just, like, you know, like, you don't need to compliment people. And I was like, I mean, like, I guess not. But, like, if someone gave me a compliment, it would, like, make my day better. So, like, why would I not, you know, I'm not out here trying to be a villain.
I do think sometimes you go out of your way to compliment people, and it can come off in a way where it's like it's all about tone, right? And you when you compliment people, you're kind of like, you're a little sarcastic with it. Like, you say it in a certain tone that I think would indicate that you're into the person.
I feel like
sometimes
I'm not. I feel like usually if I do that, I'm, like, more bubbly on purpose, because it's like Tina told me one time. She was like, yeah, like, I would never think that you're into a girl, like, if you compliment their nails, because, like, if a guy complimented my nails, I would, like, immediately assume that he's gay.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Which, whole other thing. But it's like, okay, so, like, maybe, like, okay, so I guess if I told someone that I like their nails, they wouldn't be like, ugh. Because, like, there was a whole issue where, like, this dude came up to, like, some people at the art pack and was like, yo, like, I really like how those clothes look on you. And I was like, that is not okay to say.
That is definitely not okay.
And
especially
so
in a gym.
Right. So I, like, confronted him about it. And he was like, you're just being sensitive, man. Like, if I told you that, like, and it was, like, literally only, of course, to, like, female patrons and coworkers and whatever.
Of course.
And because he was like, well, if I told you that you looked, like, good in your shirt, like, if you filled up your shirt nicely, like, that would be fine. And I was like, yeah, but, like, you wouldn't say that because I'm not a girl.
Yeah, but the other problem is just you can't do that in a gym.
Well, I mean, you can. He does.
You
He's also
can,
not banned.
But you shouldn't, though.
No, you absolutely should. It's just, like, a place where, like, people come and, like, obviously if you're in the gym, like, trying to work on yourself or, like, working out, like, that's a vulnerable space to be. Like, a ton of people are like, yeah, I'm trying to get into working out because, like, I'm trying to work on myself or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's, like, really hard sometimes. And so I just want to make sure that, like, like when he said that, I was like, okay, well, yeah, I've like never acted like that in my life. Like I think that guy is like scum of the earth. But then I'm like, oh, maybe just like me being nice is like, maybe I should just like not, you know?
I also think like,
which like I kind of like hate doing, but like I guess for the security of like my relationship and friendships with other people, I guess I'll probably just stop. But that just like sucks because I feel like I should just be able to be nice to people.
yes,
You know? Like especially like one thing I always do because I think it can't possibly be interpreted in like a romantic way is like I'll compliment something like someone if they're wearing like a piece of clothing that's like a band or show or like brand or whatever that like I really like.
yeah.
So like this girl came in the other day and she had like a Pokemon iPad case and I was like, I like your iPad case. And she was like, thanks. And that was it. I wasn't like, really like that iPad case. It's like, I'm just trying to like, I think it's cool.
I think I do the exact opposite of that. I see someone wearing a thing that's associated with like a brand or whatever, and I'm like, they cannot know that I also like this thing. Under no circumstances.
Or like, but there was one time.
Then you're gonna get into like conversations where people are like, "Oh, like I was wearing a Radiohead shirt one day, like last year, and I was just getting food, and the guy who was like working behind the counter, he was handing me my food, like I had already paid, and he's like, "Here's your food." He was like, "Is that a Radiohead shirt?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he like wanted to have a whole conversation. He's like, "What's your favorite album?" I'm like, I'm hungry. It's like 8 p.m. I gotta eat, dude.
Yeah.
I got a table of like 5 other people that are waiting on me.
Yeah. Maybe this is just a self-reflecting thing. I think I just like, maybe I don't get enough space to talk about the things that I like. So like when someone will, like, for example, there was this one time this woman came in and she was like, she has to be at least like, I mean, late 20s because she was pregnant. And she was wearing like a My Hero shirt. And under no circumstances would I ever publicly admit to anyone, especially our age, that I like My Hero.
Yeah, that's a self-report right there.
She seems like a grown woman. I was like, oh, I really like your shirt, and she was like, thanks, man. I'm going through it right now, and like my cramps are getting super bad, and the only thing keeping me going is that like when I'm really like struggling, I'll just like watch the show and like numb my mind. And I was like, yeah, season 6 is really good. And then we talked about it, and like I don't know, it was just like that was cool. Like I got to talk about something I liked with someone else, and they like hopefully didn't think it was weird.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think
you
you and I have very different outlooks because you like people, and I absolutely despise people.
But there's a difference. I'm actually secretly very judgmental of people.
No, I am too. I'm just very worried that they're gonna be like weird or like take out a gun and shoot me.
You never know these days.
You know how like you see like in the, I don't know if like driving school was this way for you, but when I was in driver's school, they played a video of like some new driver who cut off some other guy on the highway, and then the guy the guy followed him to like a gas station or something and then shot the kid.
I do know,
and I think about that a lot.
You're talking about. No, that's fair. I think maybe I'm just too trusting, I guess. Like I feel like if someone did that, I'd be like, well, can't do anything about it now. But it's also like
that is
when
I mean, if I get shot, I wouldn't be able to do anything about it.
No, I'd be dead. But it's like I don't know. I guess maybe I just live my life without the fear of that happening. You know, I never thought about that. Maybe I'll just assume that everyone that walks up to me now like might have a handgun.
I think part of it is I also like I'm super focused on like the thing that I have to be doing, so I don't go out of my way to do stuff like compliment random people. Because I'm just like I'm doing this thing, so I don't have time.
Yeah, I think maybe that's also why, because it's like usually when I'm at work, and my job is like really easy. Like I just work the front desk and I like hand people equipment and I like do homework on the side.
Yeah.
But especially recently, most of my homework has been like model making, so it's not like I can like bring whole ass model to work on it while at work.
Yeah,
so
and
I'm
you
just,
bring
like,
the laser
bored.
cutter with you too.
Right, yeah. I mean like the $40,000 machine that's like 400 pounds. Like I usually just put it on my back and like carry it with me.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I'll even like put the wheels on the bottom and like ride it down the hill to work, and it's great. But yeah, it's like, and that's why I feel like I've gotten really close with my coworkers, because like I'll just talk to them. But like if they're busy, then like I don't know, and I'm like I'm looking for a way to pass the time, so I'm trying to like have a conversation. And I do understand what you mean, because like if I go up and I'm like getting food or whatever, and someone's like, you know, hey, like I like your shirt, like what's your favorite Blink album? I'll be like, oh, not the new one, maybe California, which is not. Anyway, I don't. No,
Enema of the State.
No, my favorite Blink album is the one that's like, I can't remember what it's called, but the cover is like the Blink logo in black with a white background with the pink and blue splotches on it.
Oh fuck, I don't remember what it's called either.
I don't remember what it's called either. But like for an example, like then I would talk about that. But like I would engage in a conversation, but maybe for like a minute or two, and then be like, all right, I'm gonna eat, see ya.
Yeah.
You know, like because I don't want to be a bother. But it's like if someone is there and they're like wearing something like I'm like, oh my god, they're wearing an Attack on Titan shirt. Oh my god, I love that show. Hey man, like your shirt. Thanks, dude. Did you watch the special? Yeah. And then it's like a 5-second conversation. But it's like, boom. So whatever. Maybe I'll just stop.
Moral of the story: don't be nice to anyone ever for any reason.
Moral of the story: I should worry about myself more.
Yeah.
I'm going to enter my villain era.
Okay. I like that.
You watch out.
You're going to be Aaron Yeager.
I'm going to grow my hair out and I'm going to put it back in a ponytail and I'm going to like bite my thumb like really hard.
Yeah. And then you're going to transform into
like a bigger, more naked version of myself with
a
like
skyscraper sized skeleton looking thing.
Yeah. And then I'm going to turn into a wall.
Can we talk about that very briefly? What the fuck was that Attack on Titan special?
Did you like it or not like it?
I think it was the best episode of season 4 so far. Or maybe that's not true because it's been a while since I've seen the rest of season 4.
I don't think it's the bad. It's good.
I think it's
but like
up
I don't want to say it's the best because I don't really remember.
I think there were probably because there was the episode.
Spoilers ahead.
Yeah,
let's put a little Attack on Titan spoilers here. I think that I remember the beginning of season 4 being like really good.
Yeah, because they had like the big battle that lasted like
the
5
Jaw
episodes. Titan. Yeah,
yeah, and then like I really like when Eren fights like the Warhammer Titan later.
Yeah, it's a good fight.
I think it could be like better, but what's up?
Talking about the special?
Yeah.
I don't know about it.
No, you don't. Oh no, wait. The Warhammer Titan is not in the special. We haven't talked about the special yet.
Because he has the power.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, we haven't talked about it yet. Just like play the game louder.
Just shut the fuck up.
What?
No, I'm just fucking with you. But like we don't have to talk about anything that happens in the special, I guess, for Zach's sake. I thought the special was good.
No, I thought it was pretty good.
It's been out for like a month. Jesus. You don't have an hour?
No, I'm clearly very busy.
You have played like all of the Assassin's Creed games over the past like 2 weeks. You don't have an hour of time?
No, it's been like the past 2 months.
Whatever.
2 games.
Okay, anyway.
Zach, master of time management.
Well, okay, he said that he wants to replay the games so that he can like remember like the story and be updated on what's going on, which I think is
why
valid.
it's fucking
okay. I played like the newer games and I didn't like them at first. I think they're mid now. Versus bad.
That's awesome.
Wow.
The story because I never beat them.
No, that's fair. I mean, hey man, it's your life. We're just talking about this. Do whatever you want to do.
Keep your core to yourself.
Yeah, keep your core, bro. Just keep Gorman. Anyway, game recommendation. Everyone's got to play Core Keeper. It's got to get out of beta.
I do love the idea of rewatching a series that you like fucking hated just for at the end of it to be like, you know what? It still fucking sucks, but it's not that bad.
But it's not that bad. Yeah. What show do I not like? I don't know, but whatever.
What's your least favorite anime?
That I've
No, that you haven't seen.
Shut up. After I started saying it, but I stopped. I haven't really watched any that I was like, that's not that good. because I've only watched things that people recommend to me.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about yours first, if you have one, I will take time to think about mine.
I keep like an updated my anime list page.
I should probably do that.
I want to see, because I don't actually know what the lowest rated is that I've given. But like off the top of my head, I remember watching Love Live and thinking it was the most mid thing ever. And being like, I never want to watch this ever again.
So like, okay. I'm going to... I'm not gonna...
Okay, this one might be a bit of a hot take. I gave The World's Finest Assassin Gets Reincarnated in Another World as an Aristocrat a 4 out of 10. But the average user rating is 7.3.
I feel like that's not that off.
But I remember watching that show and being like every 5 minutes, I'd be like, I don't know what is happening. Because I would zone out because of how fucking boring it was.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So
I think, okay. And this is not a bold take, I don't think, or not a hot take. I like Sword Art Online, but only because like it has some really good goods.
Yeah.
But the bads are also like horrendous.
Yeah, Sword Art Online Season 1 is good. The second half of Season 1, where it turns into the other game, is fucking dog shit.
It's so bad.
Gun Gale is dog shit.
I think Gun Gale is fine.
It's okay.
It's not... It's one of the not bad bads. Like, it's not good, but, like, I did have some fun watching it. Not as much as, like, the first... Oh, my God, shut up. Not as much as, like, the first part of the first season.
Yeah.
But, like, it was better than, like, the fairy shit.
Yeah, and then
Season 4 is crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Season 3 and 4 is crazy. They took like a turn, dude. When you explained it to me the first time before I had watched it as like gamers versus the United States of America, I was like, I gotta watch this.
Yeah.
This is gonna be crazy. And then it was totally not what I thought it was gonna be. It was good. But it's like I've just started watching what I was watching before we started recording this. I started watching Dr. Stone.
Yeah, it's a good show.
It's so good. Like, I feel like I started watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which I know is, like, literally one of the best ranked animes of all time. So I know I just need to, like, get into it. But, like, the first episode, I don't know why, for whatever reason, I was like, this is, like, just all right so far.
Yeah. I think
But, like, Dr. Stone, I watched the first episode, and I was like, this is, like, really interesting.
Full Metal Alchemist is like Breaking Bad. You have to, like, it literally only does get better.
Okay.
So
I'll watch it.
I do think it is, like, a little too long, but it's worth it for sure.
Okay. I want to give it a watch. You know.
I just started rewatching yesterday Cowboy Bebop. And
I know.
It's just great. What do you mean you know? Oh, yeah.
Well, I texted you last night if you want to play Valorant. You were like, can't, watching... I actually didn't even say anything. I was like, hey, man, and you just said can't, watching Cowboy Bebop.
I knew.
And yeah. I'm so pissed, man.
Have you seen Cowboy Bebop?
I have not, no.
Oh, my God. Have you seen any anime that's from the 90s? Say no. Yeah, it's fucked up.
I
but
just said no. I really want to watch... I don't know how I haven't gotten around to it yet, but I really need to watch Initial D.
Yeah, that's also a good show.
Well, it's also just like literally some of my favorite things.
That is all of your interests in one.
That is literally, it's like,
I'm thinking about it.
It's like cars, like good techno music, which I guess I don't really listen to like regularly, but I can enjoy me some EDM, which is not what it is, but you know.
Yeah, I got like a house studying playlist on Spotify. It goes crazy.
Me too. My playlist is called Not Like Other Boys, and it's all just like indie pop, and I call it that because I think it's what kind of music a girl would listen to, and then be like, oh, well, I'm not like other girls, because I like indie music, but it's all like the most popular indie pop music. It just kind of slaps.
Yeah.
And it's funny because
aphex Twin, where all the song titles are like number 3.
I listen to Apex
or like just random
Legends.
Fucking characters smashed on a keyboard. What's the one song that's popular that trends on like TikTok from aphex. It's like QKTHR or some shit like that. It's the one that goes brum. It's like
oh yeah, man.
I think it's that one.
Brum,
and it's got the piano, and you can hear like the depression in the keys of the piano. It's beautiful.
That's actually kind of really cool. I don't know.
The next song after that in the album is just like some insanely, like it's one step away from dubstep.
That's awesome.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I've been watching Dr. Stone, and it's really good. Like, have you watched it? I guess if you said it's really good, you probably watched it.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I'm a big fan of the Doctor. I got a lot of respect for people with PhDs.
Yeah, man?
Yeah.
I kind of want to go back after I got my master's and just get my doctorate in, like, psychology or something.
Yeah.
Just because it's, like, kind of a flex.
Did you see the woman on the news who is, like, 94 or whatever, and she has, like, 8 degrees just because she's like, I like going to school.
Imagine that. I fucking hate this place.
Imagine how much money that costs.
A lot.
That's
okay,
crazy.
So I'm going to go back on my immature take of just saying that, like, school sucks. It's really not bad. And obviously we're in a position of... I mean, it does kind of suck. But, like, we're in a position of privilege to, like, be here. Not that we're at the same place, but, you know, just in school.
Be at a higher institution.
Of
with access to amazing opportunities.
Which let me say, I wrote my instructor evaluations today, which I guess we don't have to do, but my one professor was like, I will not give you your grade until you write it. Which is funny because, like, she's like my favorite professor out of all the 4 professors that I've had this year.
Yeah.
One of my opening lines for one of my professors was, I did not realize that Tyler was still a teacher for this class. Because I think I've seen him in class, like, twice.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was funny because, like, at the beginning of the year, one of his opening lines was like, yeah, guys, I think post-COVID, there's been, like, a lot of leniency in terms of, like, work quality and model making and attendance. You can't just, like, not show up or, like, not make a product or whatever, and then would proceed to, like, not show up for the entire year. And I was like, yeah, where's that post-COVID leniency, Tyler?
Yeah.
Huh?
I think I recently, like, took a whole afternoon and did my teacher evaluations, and I laid into some of them, man. They're fucking awful.
They don't read them, though, right? Because they're just still going to work there the next year.
Well, yeah, because that's just, like, what they do. And I mean, half of my teachers are, like, you know, they just do teaching for fun, and they have, like, an actual day job that they do because they're a professional in the field. And then they're just like, I'll teach a random 4 to 5 p.m. class on the side because, like, I don't know, I have no life and friends or family.
Damn, but really laying into them.
Yes, and I'm going to lay into them more because for one of those professors, I put, this is single-handedly one of the worst classes I've ever taken. Like, it's just, It's awful, man. But, I mean, it's fucked up that professors don't have to have, like, any teaching qualifications whatsoever. The only qualification for them to have the job that they do is that they're an expert in their field with experience.
Which could be, like, literally anything.
Yeah, which is, like, so loose. It doesn't define... It doesn't... It's so counterintuitive to, like, what students actually need. It doesn't make any sense.
I also love, and this is like an architecture specific, well, not like just architecture, but like something specifically about my major that I hate, is that, like, it's pretty much just, like, all up to personal taste.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, all of it. So, like, you can't be an expert on, like, having the best taste because there's always going to be someone that's like, well, I don't like this. Like, that's why I think it's crazy that they don't teach us about, like, I mean, like, they do eventually, but it's my first year in the program and we haven't once talked about, like, practicality or, like, building codes or, like, how wide or tall stairs should be or, like, where doorways can go and whatever. Which is, like, not that fun.
But you kind of, like, need to know that.
But, like, you kind of need to know that.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, like, I get that obviously, like, they want to teach us to, like, be creative and whatever. But it's like, I'm going to start a firm and, like, make shit and put it out there. And some people are going to be like, I like that. Please work for me. And some people are going to be like, I don't like that. And then they're just not going to hire me. And that's going to be it.
Yeah.
But like in architecture school, if your professor is like, I don't like your design, I'm giving you a D.
Then that's just like what it is.
You could have another professor who walks up and they're like, this is really cool, A. And like it's literally just entirely based on like what your professor like thinks and maybe likes. And I'm like, this is ass. It's crazy because my main instructor is like, if someone walks up, like whenever we have a review, it happened today, it always happens. If the first thing that someone else says is positive, she will immediately piggyback and be like, this is the greatest design I've ever seen. If it's not, and they're like, I think these are lacking, she'll like roast the shit out of you. And I'm like, you're my professor. You watched me build this whole thing and you said nothing. If you didn't like it, you could have said it then. Like, why?
Yeah.
And it's like, don't get me wrong, I understand if like maybe it's like, oh, well, you know, like I've been saying this for a while and like you just didn't implement my changes. It's my project, man. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna
like there's a difference between like it being like objectively like not physically able to work and then like you not liking it.
Yeah.
I don't like a lot of like, I don't know, Rem Koolhaus. I don't like a lot of what he's done, but like he's a famous architect and a lot of people do. So like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's all up to your own personal taste.
Leonardo da Vinci does suck, and I've always said that. Did you see that one guy where he like made like these really intricate, like beautiful self-portraits of like real people, and then he had like an exhibition where he was like, fuck it, and he dipped the painting in enamel paint. So
like he did it?
Yeah. So 75% of this beautiful self-portrait is just now solid bright yellow.
That's crazy.
Which is kind of like, you know, the new age artists are insane. Like Banksy, dude.
Dude, it's crazy.
They're weird, man.
People will see like 4 squares and they're like, 75K. I will not go lower. I need that right now. I'll pay more too.
And someone will be like, I would pay $1 million for that.
Yeah. It's crazy. So I'm like, okay, well, how do I get like some rich person to be like, that's just like the entirety of like crypto and like NFTs.
Oh yeah. Someone's
like, funny monkey, I will pay $1 million. And suddenly every funny monkey is worth $1 million.
Yeah.
It's like that one guy, or sorry, go ahead.
Art, I was just gonna say, art is like weird because it's like, you know, obviously if you're like a painter, then, you know, your ability to impress comes from like what techniques you use to make the painting, like what style you're making the painting in. But then there's like some art that like photography where it's just like anyone can get the same shots as you. Like it doesn't take a genius to like find a cool angle and then put it into Photoshop and you download like some preset from some YouTube video online and you click apply and the photo looks good. Anyone can do that. But it's just like people's subjective taste. Which makes it annoying because it's like, how do you translate that to like a school setting then? How do you
it's tough.
Objectively grade something that is pretty much just subjective? Yeah.
Because that's the thing too. It's like, you could come to the end of a project and be like, this is the most I could have put into this. And like, I'm fully satisfied with where it's at. And there will always be someone who's like, I'm not.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, man, cool. Sorry. You can redesign it yourself if you want. And it's crazy too, because then I have like professors who like they like work and they like work at a firm and they're actual architects and they come in and teach, like some of your professors. And then there's some who like only teach, and the ones who only teach are like the worst.
Yeah.
Like
somehow like they have the most experience doing what they're supposed to do, and they're terrible at it.
And yet they're like the worst at it. Because I feel like the difference between like the schooling and like the practical, I was gonna say practicality, but like the difference between the schooling and then like the practical experience is like so different.
Yeah.
Because like in school, it's just like encouraging you to be creative, and then like when you go to grad school, you learn way more about like practicality and like physicality and structure and like, you know, material qualities and that type of thing. So like your undergraduate degree is kind of just like you trying to make things and then people making fun of you for that. And that's like it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta be made fun of at some point, but like, you know.
That's true. Everyone does need to be bullied, dude.
That's true.
Maybe not bullied.
I think I get bullied on a regular basis. I was doing like a lab the other day for one of my classes, and we had to basically just set up like a network infrastructure. We had to make computers talk to each other, but we added phones into the equation, and we had to analyze VoIP traffic, which is voice over the internet protocol. And it's just the most obscene thing because, one, nobody uses office phones anymore. So this doesn't fucking matter. And two, the questions they're asking me in the lab report are just like insane. They're like, create a flow process diagram for how like traffic is sent over Ethernet. I'm like, I don't care. No one, this doesn't matter.
Dude,
this is just a waste of my damn time. That's worth 4% of my grade for some reason.
Isn't that awesome?
Whatever.
Yeah,
but
anyway,
the true
school is
artists,
really cool. You gotta go.
I gotta. Here's a fun fact for you. Okay, This is gonna be a weird thing to think about. Pink Floyd, "Dark Side of the Moon." It's hanging on my wall behind me. Released 50 years ago to this year. 50 years before that, we were only just starting to record sounds.
Yeah.
And I found on Spotify the other day, there's an album just made by like Spotify itself, and it's called The World's Oldest Recordings. And you know it's fucking old when one of the songs is 30 seconds long, and the artist name is Unknown Bugler, and it's just a guy playing the bugle.
He's just going ham, dude.
Dude, he goes so hard. It's insane.
Yeah. That's like the crazy thing. Like, I don't know, like, how close you are with your grandparents or how old they are or if they're still alive, which might just not be true.
Some
like,
of
if
them
you've
are
heard,
dead.
Yeah, same. But like, if you've heard anyone talk about like how life was when they were a kid and they're over the age of like 70 years old, it's like, what the fuck is it going to be like when we're like 70?
Yeah, I remember one of my one grandmother was abandoned by her parents during the Great Depression.
Damn.
And I'm like, I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, is COVID our Great Depression? Like, in 60 years, when I'm 79 years old and I have a myriad of grandchildren because my family fucks, and I'm telling stories to them, am I going to sound the same way, but about COVID instead?
I mean, you're not going to be like, my parents gave me up on the curb during the COVID pandemic. I do
probably
think it's
not, but
my favorite meme of all time, maybe not of all time, but it's definitely top 5, is when people like our age or like slightly older than us are like, hey guys, I've already, or I guess even like our parents technically, and our grandparents, but like anyone who has lived past COVID is like, oh yeah, guys, I've already had like 2 once-in-a-lifetime economic recessions.
Yeah.
This is so awesome. And I guess if you lived through the Great Depression, you've had 3.
Yeah.
And it could be 3. So I think we're doing pretty good. I think we're in hot shape. We're good.
Yeah. Back to the artist discussion. Did you see
Yeah,
Coachella was going on? And people are very mad.
Sure did. Why? I mean, like, I know Coachella's going on. Why are they mad?
You might know Frank Ocean.
Nope, never heard of him.
Yeah, so Frank Ocean, obviously artists are supposed to get up and like do their sets, and their sets are supposed to be like 2 hours long. And then Frank Ocean's label and like people who work for the label have been like dropping all these hints on social media that like new songs are coming soon, and Frank's like in the studio working on stuff. So people
Frank's
like
in the stew, bro.
People expected Frank to get up on stage and you know like do something, and then he gets up, he plays his 5 most popular songs and then leaves.
What?
And then he canceled the second set that he was supposed to do at a later date.
Damn.
So people are pissed.
Maybe he's going
what
through
I
something,
think
man.
is more important was Pusha T's set, because for his whole set, if you don't know, Pusha T's whole thing is he raps about like doing drugs and selling drugs. And for his whole set, they played a video in the background, and it's just instructions on how to make meth.
That's awesome.
And I feel like not enough people are talking about that, especially on today, the day of our Lord 420.
Like, okay, wait, so like
up.
For real? Like actual, like legitimate
No,
meth.
like dead ass, yeah.
That's like... I don't know how to respond to that without like somehow also trying to sound like mature and profoundly respectful, but that's like kind of base. You know?
It's also not like it's, it's not a forbidden secret. It is just chemistry.
I mean, it is just chemistry.
Like, it's just
they made a show about it, actually.
And you could just make it.
You could just look it up.
You can literally make meth right now.
I'm not going to look up how to make meth because I don't want to be added to like a list, but I almost 100% guarantee that there is a WikiHow.
You just need a lot of Sudafed.
Yeah.
You need
that is.
You need a lot of cold medicine.
I do know what that is.
There you go.
That I know. I haven't actually watched Breaking Bad, so...
Yeah, that's one of the things they run into, like, in the first season, is that all of the, like, gas stations around them run out of Sudafed. So they're like, fuck, how do we make meth? And then they rob a chemical plant to find, like, a substitute.
That's goated.
Yeah, and it's, it's
Wow.
Jesse Pinkman, who is, like... I don't even know if he went to college. I was going to say college dropout, but he looks like a college dropout. Loser, stoner guy, and then fucking Walter White, who's like 70 years
chemist.
old. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I've watched like I've watched the very beginning of the show, like the first few episodes, when they're like, yeah, you have
cancer,
life-threatening cancer. Yeah, I was trying not to like spoil anything for anyone who hasn't watched the show, but I feel like most people have.
It doesn't matter anymore. There's so many memes about the show now that like
I feel like it's like
kind
just
of
blown up.
You honestly do get like half of the plot just scrolling through iFunny.
Yeah.
So.
And I think if you're on iFunny, you deserve to have it spoiled for you.
That's right. One of my friends uses iFunny, and I make fun of him for it relentlessly. I
feel like there's probably still like some good content on there, but like it's probably few and far between.
I don't know about that. It depends on what your definition of good content is, I think.
Like architecture, I think it's pretty subjective. Yeah.
I mean, I guess so. It's just not. It's not my kind of humor, I guess, is what I'm saying.
It's fair. Yeah.
I had this bit the other day that I came up with that I think we need
want to share?
That I think we need to do in the future because it involves the podcast. I think we should do an episode where it's like a bit on like a guided meditation.
So like we write a script.
Yeah, we'll like write a script
for like 5 minutes, and then we just sit here in silence.
No, it's like 3 hours long.
No.
It's our
honestly,
Infinity War, and it's like...
I'm kind of down for that bit.
There's so many ideas we could do, right? It's like we start the episode with, like you play like the normal like calming music, and then I come over, I'm doing like the ASMR voice, like, welcome to this guided meditation. And for like the first 5 minutes, it'll be completely serious. And then
it starts descending.
We'll go into like a prolonged like silence. You're supposed to meditate portion of the meditation.
Right, yeah.
We'll just play like death metal, like royalty-free death metal music.
I think we should keep like the sleep track on like the whole time.
In the background.
And, like progressively. No, just like the whole time. And then like progressively, like after the 5 minutes of silence, it's just like you feel them. The bugs.
That's
They're
also
under.
good.
They're crawling
There's so
under
many
your
things
skin.
we could workshop, but it's
We could also just do like all of it.
no. That's what I'm saying. Like it's such
But,
a
like, hear me out,
dynamic
though.
bit.
Hear me out though. For the sake of the pot, we're not doing that. Like if we release like a sleep track, it'll be 100% serious. You know?
I know what you mean, but I also want to do it. So
Yeah, but we could just like record like an actual sleep track. We should just do an episode that's like just ASMR, and it's just us like eating like Lay's chips for like an hour.
we should just do like a mukbang.
I don't want to do that.
We should do that. No, and
Let's hit up.
we eat the entire McDonald's menu.
I can't do that.
I can't either. That's why it'll be fun.
It'll be awesome because we'll both eat like 10 chicken nuggets and be like, all right, guys, see you in the next
No,
one."
my McDonald's order is bigger than that.
No, I know, but I think it's funny if we just do that. It's like, hey, guys, we're going to eat the entire McDonald's menu.
Or we just take like 10 hours to do it.
Yeah, we could just wait.
We eat one nugget every hour.
I actually think it would be better if we start the mukbang and then we get full and then we leave the camera on the food and then like go about our day until we get hungry again and then we come back.
And it's like a
And then start
24-hour video. Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
it's like really long.
And in the background, you can hear like the air conditioning turning on and off every 30 minutes. That's good.
The one in our dorm does this awesome thing at like while we're asleep sometimes where it just like starts like screaming. So I think that would be a really good addition to the video.
That's good. What is your
So-
McDonald's order, by the way?
I think we've already talked about this. It's
Have
very
we?
basic. It's nothing exciting. I usually get, excuse me, like if I'm getting Mickey D's,
Yeah. Which
I'll
you
get-
are in this scenario.
which I am, I'll either get 20 nuggets or 10 nuggets and a chicken sandwich, and then an apple pie, mango pineapple smoothie, medium fry.
Oh, yeah, the apple pie is a new thing, right? Because
Yeah.
you had that whole fiasco where you were ordering...
Well, okay, so they had a limited run item. I don't actually, it might just be permanent, but I don't know. They just added it to the menu, so like not every McDonald's had it.
yeah.
But it showed up on Grubhub, and there was like a blueberries and cream pie, and I was like, I like blueberries
And cream.
and cream, and I have $1.20, so this looks like a deal.
And I want to cream my blueberry.
I want to cream my blueberry in the form of a pie, and so I ordered one, and I was like, well, this is going to be awesome. And then it gets to my dorm, I go pick up my food, open the food, it's an apple pie. And I was like, well, I mean, I can't just like not eat it.
Yeah, that
And
would
I
be
ate it.
wasteful.
Right. And I mean, the apple pie was really good, but it just wasn't what I was expecting. And then I did that 2 more times and ordered a blueberries and cream pie 2 more times. And it again was an apple pie. And then I ordered McDonald's like 2 weeks ago, blueberry and cream pie. Finally showed up. I think the build up might have not been worth the outcome because it was
Yeah.
like it was just mid. The apple pie's better. And I don't even like apple pie.
But now it's a staple of your order.
And now it's a staple in my order.
The universe works in mysterious ways.
But like the McDonald's apple pie is not like real apple pie, you know? So it's like
No, obviously. It's
so
like
it's like better than
plastic,
real. It's like
and
better than real apple pie.
It's forever chemicals.
Yeah, and like polyurethane and whatever. Yeah, good
Yeah,
stuff.
it's got,
there's
like-
definitely.
It's
There's
got the shit
microplastics in
that
there.
makes the pans non-stick.
Yeah. So if I threw it on the ceiling, dude, never stick.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm a double quarter pounder, 10 nuggets, medium fry, milkshake kind of guy.
Fair. I don't know why. For some reason, I can't do the burger from McDonald's.
I can understand. It's a lot.
Like it's
Like,
not
it's-
bad. I've only ever had one once because I went the first like 17 years of my life without having one, and I was like, hey, you got to try it at some point, and so I did, and it was fine, but like it just wasn't.
It just feels like you're eating a whole cow.
Yeah,
You know?
and like I didn't want that much cow,
Like it's a lot of
even though the patty
it's a lot
is
of cow.
like this thick, and there's like one of them, and it's like really not even that much beef, and who knows if it's actually even.
Well, that's
beef,
why you
but,
got to
like,
order the double.
Well, right, but like then I got to pay more.
Or you order like I don't. Some of the burgers on the McDonald's menu are weird because they're like super fucking small. But then if you order a different burger, you get like a way better patty.
Oh, well, I guess
So I don't know. Like if you order the kids burger, you're getting, like spam basically. And if you order
that's awesome.
like a Big Mac, you get, some shit that they picked up at the Walmart grocery store.
Hey, let's not hate on the Walmart grocery store.
But I'm not
right.
hating there. That's where I shop because it's the cheapest thing that is also close.
Yeah, that's where we bought groceries while we were in Canada for spring break. It's kind of goated.
Shout out the Walmart Super Center.
The most American thing they have in Canada.
And I always schedule my pickups for 6 p.m. and I usually get the same guy that brings out my order.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what his name is, and to be honest, I don't care. But he does a good job loading it into my back seat. So
there you go.
Shout out.
Shout out guy from McDonald's.
Walmart.
Yep.
Not McDonald's. I'm not going to...
It's like the same thing.
McDonald's to have it. It's not the same thing.
It's like kind of almost the same thing.
It's literally a completely different thing. It's like a completely different industry that they both...
Who the fuck is calling me?
Henry's getting a phone call
right now, Grace. I'm on the podcast, bro. Anyway. Oh.
Imagine getting phone calls.
Well, usually it's like my mom because she waits to call me until like she sees that I'm at home. Or at least she says that, and then I think every time she's called me in the past like month, I just haven't been like at my place.
Oh.
She'll be like, yeah, I always wait to call you until you're home, so I know that you're like available, hopefully. And I'm like, okay, I appreciate that. But she just like hasn't been doing that anymore. She called me like in the middle of work the other day, and I texted her, I was like, hey, I'm at work. And she was like, oh, okay, I'll call you back. And then she waited like 5 minutes. And I was like, Mom.
Nice one.
I'm still here.
Not going to believe this. Haven't left.
Not going to believe this. The 5 minutes, and especially because like, it's not like that's the end of an hour or something. If it was like 3:55 and then she called me at 4, I'd be like, okay, so she assumes I'm off work at 4. She's wrong, but like, that makes sense. But no, it'll be like 4:15 or like 4. Let's say 4:17. Then she'll call me at like 4:23, and I'm like, Mom, I'll hit the classic like the text right above like the accept button where it's like, sorry, I can't talk right now.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
I will call my mom, and then she won't pick up, and she'll text me and be like, hey, I'm busy. I'm halfway across the country at this work thing, and I'll be like, oh, my bad. And then I'll call tomorrow, and she'll be like, why didn't you call me yesterday? And I'm like...
I did.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I literally did.
Uh,
My favorite thing, speaking of calling really quick, shout out to Apple. This is the best thing they've ever done. You know how now if your phone is unlocked and someone's calling you, you can just swipe up and wait out the call?
I did not know that.
Wait, what?
If it's a new thing that it...
No, I mean, it's been like a thing for like...
Oh, okay.
At least a few updates.
Well, I just
my
hit
phone is
when it's
not
ringing,
updated.
I hit the power button and it silences the call.
Well, yeah, that. But like, if your phone is unlocked and you're like in your phone, you can just do that, and it'll pop it right back up to the top there.
Oh, I
it's
didn't
awesome.
know that.
So then, while I don't want to answer a phone call, I can just like, yeah. But then, if you pick it up and then hang up, someone knows that you hung up on them.
Well, that's why you just don't pick it up. You just end the call.
But what if I'm like watching a really enticing YouTube video and then, someone calls me and I'm like, dude, I'm on the John. I'm not going to talk to you right now.
Just put the call down. Why do you?
But I'm watching the video, man. I can't stop. I was enthralled.
Okay.
Anyway.
It feels like this is an extremely specific use case.
Real ones, no.
Real one? Who's the real one?
I don't know.
MKBHD?
You are a real one, but dude, MKBHD is cool.
Shout out tech YouTubers.
Shout out Mark Ass Brownlee.
Shout out Linus Tech Tips.
Linus Tech Tips.
Linus Tech's your tip.
Did you see that thing about Linus Tech Tips like almost getting entirely canceled?
Oh yeah, it was hilarious.
That was a crazy situation.
The clip on the WAN show, where the context is basically, they were talking about like saying words that you should not say, like, but before they had like an online presence.
So they were talking about like cartoons and how Linus was like, I remember like, you know, like they used to make jokes like on cartoons when I was a kid, and they would use the hard R.
Yeah.
And you can visibly see I don't remember his name.
I don't remember his name.
I was gonna say Luke, but I don't think that's it.
No, I think it is Luke.
It sounds right. I don't want to be wrong though. We're gonna call him Luke for the sake of the story. So Linus is like, yeah, you know, like I mean, in media, like early 2000s, like I was watching a show the other day with like my kids that I used to love when I was like younger, and like they just like dropped the hard R, and you could see him go, like visibly, just like, and he was like, and I just think that's so, like I just think that's so strange, and Luke's like, yeah, that's like really weird. And he was like, you know, I mean, like, and, you know, like, we all used to say it, like, and you see Luke, like, huh? And then, like, he goes on to be like, you know, like, the word for someone who might, like, potentially have, like a mental disability. And you could just see Luke go, whoo!
Like close one, dude.
Yeah, and then he goes, like, Linus, that's not what that means.
Yeah.
And it's, like, the craziest thing I think I've ever seen.
That's really funny.
I still, like, I mean, I guess and I'm not trying to sound like I'm a white knight. I've always done the right thing, but like I don't remember a time where I've ever like felt the need to like call someone that, but people like still do it all the time. And it's like crazy. Say the word.
Oh, yeah. I mean, some people are stupid.
Yeah, well, it's just don't be an ass, man. But yeah, crazy times with Linus Tech Tips.
Yeah, it was a close one. I thought we were going to lose, like, my life flashed before my eyes. I was like, who am I going to go to get CPU comparison videos anymore?
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
How am I going to know which is better, the i9 11900K or the i9 10980K?
Yeah.
How am I going to know? I need to know.
You literally wouldn't know. And Marcus Brownlee is going to cover it. Marcus Brownlee is actually like, I always forget about him until like one of his not forget, but like he's not actively on my mind of like my favorite YouTubers until like one of his videos pops up. He just seems like a really cool guy.
Yeah. I stopped watching like the tech YouTube sphere a while ago. Because I just like all the videos are the same. It's like when the new iPhone comes out, they're like, this is the new thing. And then like you go to the next, you scroll down in the feed and it's another tech YouTuber and they're like, this is what the new iPhone does. New thing. And it's all the same.
I am still guilty of that. Like if like a new, but I do that for like all my interests. Like if there's like a new game and there's like a leak, immediately I will watch that video. If there's a new car. There's new car design dropping. Watching that. New phone. I'll watch it.
Sure.
Am I going to buy any of these things?
Absolutely not.
But I just like speculative shit. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, I can get behind it in some circumstances.
I think that I used to watch like the tech sphere way more when I was like, oh, that's like feasible to like purchase. And then I got to college and like
and that dream is gone.
I got like a relatively real job, and I was like, oh, it's not affordable. I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
I was like, none of my goals are attainable, and I will amount to failure in the end.
That's right. I think I'm becoming like anti-tech. I stopped wearing my Apple Watch very recently because I started getting, I don't know if you get this, like the ghost taps where like you think you get a notification because you thought you felt something on your wrist, so you pull your wrist up to like check your watch and then there's just nothing there. So I would get like these ghost taps. Like I would feel things happening on my wrist and I would check my watch and nothing was there and it was driving me insane. So I had to stop wearing it.
Maybe you're just like haunted, man.
I don't know. Ever since I started like doing computer related stuff on a daily basis, now I'm like, all this shit is fucked. Like AI is actually gonna kill you at some point.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the same thing like with my major, and also I guess I don't get the ghost taps on my watch, but I get them on my phone all the time.
Oh yeah.
But like it's like the same thing. I feel like it like almost takes like some of the joy out of it for you of like if you just do something like professionally.
Yeah.
It's like I love designing shit, but like when I come home at the end of the day and I'm like, I need to work on like personal stuff for my portfolio, I have like no drive to do it because I'm like, well, I was just doing that all day.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. But that's more of a personal issue, I guess. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah. Back to teching your tip with Linus. There was a clip recently from the WAN show where they were talking about like some AI Chatgpt thing where like the AI was like tasked with like getting this thing done, and the AI like found a way, like it ran into problems that it could not solve by itself. So it like messaged real people on like Fiverr to get the things that it needed to get done to do the project. Which is crazy.
That is crazy. kind of cool. Maybe kind of cool, but crazy.
It's a little cool, but I think it's more
worrisome than it is cool.
Worrisome, yeah, is a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, the concept of the internet is like really cool because
it's also really new.
Well, it's okay. One is obviously it's new, but like two, having like all of the information that like all of humanity knows publicly, like on the internet, like available at your fingertips at any given time is like kind of like a really underrated resource if you really think about it.
Yeah.
So like I don't think that that's enough for like any one person to comprehend like ever. I think no matter how smart or intelligent you are, you could never possibly understand or utilize like every resource that the internet has.
And now you kind of have the ability to do that.
Which is why, like, AI is, like, really scary.
Yeah.
Because, like, it just can.
Have you used, like, a Chatgpt or similar to, like, do the homework stuff?
No, but that's just because... I've used it before just for the sake of, like, oh, I want to see what it does.
Yeah.
But, like, no. But that's just because I don't really do a lot of, like, essay writing or, you know... whatever.
I don't
will say
either,
though,
but I had a economics homework assignment the other day that was just like explain why what you've learned so far in the course is useful like to your real life. And I was like, I don't want to do this. I put the prompt into Chatgpt and then like I basically took what it wrote and then like copied the same like sentence paragraph structure but in my own words, and I submitted that and I got a 100.
There you go.
I mean, it's just me being lazy, but I mean, that shit works. And then I've also used it to write code, which is another very scary thing.
That I think is really cool.
And it's more scary because I understand that it actually like works pretty well.
Well, I feel like also the scary thing about ChatGPT is that it'll write code for you, but then not only does it like write the code, but it'll tell you exactly like where in your program it needs to go and like what it does.
Yeah.
Like, if it just, like, pulled shit from the internet and then, like, put it there...
that would be understandable. It would be like, yeah, I clicked on the 5th link on the Google page.
Right, and, like, I can do that, too. Like, that's not that bad. But then it'll, like, write, like, an in-depth, like... And then you can ask it and be like, oh, I don't know what, like, this section means. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
And it'll explain it to you. Like, I could just, like, learn how to code by just, like... using ChatGPT.
Forget learning how to code. It just
I could just do it. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would want to learn, but like, I guess there's no point in learning if it just does it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of scary.
It's a little scary.
It's a little scary.
And on that note,
have a great day, guys.
Thanks for taking out the trash, everybody.